Welcome to the Life in Michigan podcast. Life in Michigan is more than an online magazine. We share the stories, experiences, and vibrant personalities that make the Great Lakes state truly unique. In this podcast, we bring you inspiring, heartwarming, and sometimes unexpected conversations with people who call Michigan home. From the rugged beauty of the Upper Peninsula to the bustling creativity of Kalamazoo, we'll cover the stories and define what it means to live, work, and play in Michigan. Today, we are diving into the history and small-town charm of one of our absolute favorite places, Marshall, Michigan. Joining us to share why you need to choose Marshall for your next Michigan getaway are Amy Peterson and Alena Guenther from the Choose Marshall team. Amy and Alena, welcome to the Life in Michigan podcast. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Excited to be here.
Yeah. Awesome. So to kick things off, maybe you could introduce yourselves to the people listening and give them a little background on what your roles are at Choose Marshall.
Let me start? Sure. Okay. I'm Amy Peterson. I am the Director of Marketing for Choose Marshall. So I get to have a lot of fun. I work on the social media page. I work on the website. I help promote events and all things awesome that are happening in Marshall. My job mainly is to, let people know that Marshall is here, what we have going on, and hope that they want to come and visit us.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, so I'm Alena Guenther. I am the Tourism Services Manager and Historian at Choose Marshall. I'm also the Museum Director for the Marshall Historical Society, so my jobs kind of overlap quite a bit, especially in like the history area. So history is definitely my background. I'm a PhD student at Western right now, so in history. But yeah, I basically, I help out with trolley tours. I help out doing some of the historic signage throughout Marshall. So like our walking tours, that sort of stuff. Anything history related usually comes to me at some point. So, but yeah, and it's, I run the Honolulu House Museum. So that's obviously one of our biggest attractions to town. So and it's really fun. So it's really neat to be able to do this in my hometown. I was born and raised in Marshall, and it's really cool to get, my history degrees and come back and use them in Marshall. So
Yeah, that is pretty cool to be able to do, just support your hometown and also showcase like all the cool things that are out there. Because Marshall, as you guys know, we've been going out there for years and years and years. Obviously, Dark Horse is a huge draw for us because we love beer, but there's so many cool things we've discovered there, and it's just a great place to go. And it's, conveniently located. It's like right off 94. It's like if you're cruising around Michigan, see, it's the place to go. So
perfect meeting point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we share our last name happens.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can say that there's a town named after us. Not really, but anyway. So Amy, I know that you actually came from Munising. Is that correct?
I did. I'm a Youper.
You're a Youper. So you moved down.
I love beer too. Yes.
You moved down from UP to Marshall, and which I think is awesome, but it's like quite a shift. So what was your first impression when you came to Marshall, and how has it felt like home?
So coming to Marshall, my husband and I at the time were looking to open up our own business. We wanted to start working for ourselves. And in all honesty, I wanted warmer weather. I know I'm a Youper, but as I got older, I got colder. So we came down and there was a business for sale. And the night we came down, it must have been the daddy-daughter dance, because we drove downtown and there were girls in these princess dresses running around with their dads, like safe on the streets. The town had beautiful lights. It was decorated. It was really fun. And then I found out that they have a Christmas parade. And being the Christmas enthusiast that I am, I said, well, this is it. This is as close as I'm getting to moving to Hallmark. So I thought it would be the perfect place to start a business and to raise our kids and get involved in the community. And when I had the opportunity to get into marketing for tourism, coming from Munising, pictured rocks, lots of tourism destination town, it was just something that I was already familiar with and something passionate about combining where you live, and at the same time where you can work and where you can share it with others. And so I really, really enjoy that. So I've been in Marshall for 10 years. I love it. My kids are starting to graduate in the next couple of years from here, and
Wow.
business is going good. So yeah, still loving it every day.
Fantastic.
So do your kids, they were born in Munising, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Do they go back often?
So we always go back for the 4th of July. So the 4th of July, all of our family, because we're all spread out, come home. It's just the tradition. We have the traditional parade. Like we have the Christmas parade here in Marshall. Munising has the 4th of July parade with the firemen water fights. And if you don't know what that is, you stand in the street with everybody while the township fights the city and you get really wet. It's a great time. Plus, we
So
have the
there
best
any-
4th of July fireworks.
That's a
So are there
fantastic-
any like places that only a Youper would know about in Munising?
Well, I think they've all been discovered since I've moved away. I know some of them have been discovered and they've been shut down. I think it's different when you travel to a place that is so nature forward, and with people who maybe didn't grow up in that nature. It's hard to know that. For instance, Lake Superior, she is her own woman, and we know how dangerous she can get. Um, and at the same time, the trails and how important it is to not leave a footprint behind. So, that's the toughest thing is when people have found some of those spots, whether they were on private land or public land, a lot more rules, regulations have come up, and some of them have actually been shut down just because we want to preserve pictured rocks for the future. And as you know, parts of Minor Castle and the rocks and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
already start to dissolve. So no secrets left, I don't think.
Well, there's lots of well, I don't know if I would say secrets, but there's just very interesting nuggets of history in Marshall. And Alena, you mentioned you're working on your PhD at Western. What was it that drew you into the history of your town, other than it being your hometown?
Well, if I'm being honest, it was I needed an internship during my bachelor's in history at Olivet College, and I was not really in the position to be looking for an internship quite yet. Um, but I remember I was at the cemetery, I think, with my mom, and we were looking at old headstones, and really common for history buffs to do, and um, and I don't know, we ended up just kind of talking about, the historical society, and oh yeah, I think they do like the home tour and, a couple other things. But um, I ended up going to the Honolulu house and just kind of chatting with some of the ladies there. And they were like, well, I think we're looking for a tour guide for the summer of 2017. And I was like, okay. And so I applied for it and they gave me the job. And the next year I became the director. So,
Wow.
so I guess they were, very eager to get someone young and excited about history in there, which I think is maybe paid off for them because I've been with them ever since. So I'm getting close to 10 years with the Historical Society, and I'm not even 30. So
Wow.
yeah.
That is
So
awesome.
yeah, they hired me pretty young. So so I've kind of like grown up in a way with the Historical Society, and it's been really fun. And that's really how I got into it. So I'm kind of on I'm kind of in a weird position because I'm doing public history and I'm doing academic history. So normally you pick one. So I'm kind of the oddball in the history department because I am kind of walking that line. But it all fits together, and I really like kind of breaking down that ivory tower narrative that is often placed on academia. That's, it's just a bunch of higher up historians writing stuff that no one's ever going to read.
Yeah.
I like giving that to the regular public level that, no, people are interested in what we're writing, and we should be, handing it down in an accessible way. And that's something I'm really passionate about. And I love to see local history done in a professional way. which I think Marshall has done that for a long time, and it's something that we are hoping to continue doing. We take our history seriously in Marshall. We don't treat it as just, rinky-dink local history that only happened here. Marshall's stories have so many that tie into national, state contexts. As you guys know from, the Honolulu House tour that you went on with us. So, a lot of things do tie in nationally. It's stuff that people can relate to. And I think that's one of our biggest draws for tourism. And I know that's something that Amy has fun with marketing, is getting the history out there and, seeing how people respond to it and, what connections they make with the history. Because that's really what it's all about, is what can you learn from it? And, what does that mean for us today?
Yeah,
So,
that
I love
tour.
seeing the younger people getting involved in it, learning, wanting to learn more about history. It's like, let's bring the young people in, make it fun, make it exciting as well as educational.
right. Yeah, and there's kind of a misconception that, that young people don't like history. It's like, well, we do like history. You're just assuming we don't. So,
Well, and I think, as you mentioned, making the stories approachable and like basically giving the real life, like, because when we did the tour with you at the Honolulu House, you did a great job of not only just giving us the facts and figures, but it was also those stories about, like, oh, so and so was here, and so may have been a grifter and done some things, to get some money, and share these things and all these different little connections. I think that's the part that makes history exciting for anybody, really. It's not just the, on X date such and such was here. It's so much more than that. You guys do a great job of sharing those stories.
Yeah, I think when we were touring the Honolulu House, I know I mentioned it, but I had just finished The Demon of Unrest by Eric
That's right.
Larson. And I said, I feel like I'm on a tour with Eric Larson. I mean, you were doing such a great job of like making it come alive and relatable and put into a context that I'm not gonna like glaze over. And fabulous job.
well,
Great
thank you.
job.
Yeah, like I said, being compared to Eric Larson is like top tier compliment. So love that.
Yeah. So for our listeners, we will have a link in our show notes to our tour of the Honolulu House. It's just got kind of a teaser. I mean, and they've got tons of stuff on the Choose Marshall site about the Honolulu House. But you should everybody should go visit it. It's a very cool space. So, also, if you don't mind, what is the story behind why the 19th century Chief Justice built the Hawaiian-inspired mansion in Calhoun County? I mean, what can just give a little history, a little teaser?
Yeah, well, it's pretty straightforward because in 1857, he was appointed by President Buchanan to serve in the Sandwich Islands as the U.S. consul there, which the Sandwich Islands is what we now call Hawaii. So Abner Pratt was traveling out to Hawaii in 1857 and became the U.S. consul there. It took about 3 to 4 months to actually get to Hawaii from Michigan. This is before the Panama Canal was in place. So you have to get on a train, go across Panama, and then keep going out to around San Diego area. And then you would take a little barge out to Hawaii. So it was quite a long trip.
I know, I was thinking too, a little barge with the shark.
It was a little steamboat, like a very small steamboat. So those main cruisers were for, traveling out to California. So not many people were going out to Hawaii at this time. So this is obviously before the United States annexed Hawaii, but this was kind of those early on processes of annexation that were kind of taking place, and having a U.S. consul there and, trying to build relations with trade and that sort of thing. So, but yeah, Abner Pratt ended up coming back from Hawaii around 1860. So, and there is some speculation there. There was some strange money dealings going on in Hawaii concerning Abner Pratt. So he was likely trying to get away from that, but also he had asthma really, really bad, and the tropical climate was not good for him. And so he ended up coming back in 1860. And like I've said before, he can't bring the weather, so he brought back some of the influence of the Polynesian style of architecture. And it's important to note that, like, this is, when you look at the Honolulu House, it's very, European in style with Italianate and Gothic styles blended into it. And it's more of how the Polynesian style, for Europeans, how they would have been building in Hawaii. That's obviously not how the Hawaiian kingdom was building their palaces and, things like that. So it's very much has a European influence with it. But it is made for hot weather, which is great in the summertime in Michigan, not so much in the wintertime. So it can get a little bit chilly in there, but we do have modern heat. So we are open through December. So you can still make it. You can still come see the Honolulu house in December, and it's decorated for Christmas and it's beautiful.
It is phenomenal at Christmas time. It is just gorgeous in there, especially with all the vintage decorations and it's so neat.
Yeah, it is a very cool space.
So do you have a favorite detail or some hidden quirk that somebody might miss?
Oh man. I'm trying to think. There's
the staircase.
Yeah, I would say honestly it's
quirky.
Yeah, the staircase is a little bit odd just because it doesn't go to an upstairs. So when you enter the Honolulu house, you have to enter already going upstairs, and that is what's considered the main level. But when you walk in the doors, you're immediately met with this grand staircase that you would think would go up to some, master bedroom, huge space up there. And it doesn't. It's just, 10-foot ceilings in this house. So it's super tall. It's made for the heat to go up. And that's all in that Polynesian style. Just like when you go to, somewhere in the South where they have plantation homes, you see kind of a similar style architecture that's made for heat. Really tall, ceilings, windows that are at the top to let the heat out. And in Marshall, we have a Honolulu house with 10-foot ceiling or 15-foot ceilings, 10-foot doorways, excuse me on that. But yeah, it's a really tall house. So if you were to add like 8 feet of living space on top of the house, it would be like really tall and also really hot if you were in Hawaii. So, something that's missing on the Honolulu house is actually the bedroom wings. They were removed in the 1920s. And if you're not listening very well on the tour, you can very easily miss that part. And then you get to the end of the tour and you're like, where are the bedrooms? And then, but they were taken off in the 1920s, likely because they were just in disrepair. There was one lady living at the house during this time, so she really didn't need all of that extra space. So it was, made logical sense for her at the time to just have them removed. Likely sold some of that material off for some money and, made a little bit of profit. Her husband had passed away by this point. So just, made sense for her at the time. But now it leaves us with a door that has a brick wall behind it and no bedrooms in the house. So that can be something kind of tricky. But there are 3 places that the staircase actually goes to. It goes to a small cupola at the very top of the house that is like a porch. So in Hawaii, it probably would have overlooked the ocean or the mountains or something. But in Marshall, it overlooked his daughter's home that was across the street. So, and actually it's his daughter / law partner. So Bellina Pratt married Isaac Crary, who was Abner Pratt's law partner at the time. So he was quite a bit younger than Abner Pratt, but so yeah. And then there's a small attic space and there's another little secret staircase that goes to the roof. So there were originally 12 fireplaces in the Honolulu house with 4 chimney stacks. And you would have definitely needed access to those if you're having that much fire and heat going through to heat your home. And you would need access to those chimneys. If anything's smoldering, you'd have sand or something to dump down the chimney to kind of, get those pieces burned out. So,
wow.
But yeah, as far as any little like secret or quirk, we really try hard to make that not a thing. We want to make sure that we are as transparent and straightforward with our history as we can be. If you would have taken the tour even, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, you probably would have heard different things. And that's because the tour is always evolving, not necessarily because what we're saying is wrong, but because we're learning more and the story is slowly becoming more and more accurate, which is always what we're striving for. And we never want to, hide or mask any history, even, Abner Pratt's potential embezzlement in Hawaii. I mean, that's not anything on, the Historical Society. We didn't do that.
Right.
We're not bashing Abner Pratt for that either. It's really important to take a very, hands-off approach to the history and just tell it how it is, try to be as unbiased as you can be, which is obviously everyone comes in with natural biases. It's, that's normal, but trying to just, take your hands off of the history and leave your opinions out of it and just present what you know based on what materials we have. Which I will say, we have something really exciting coming. This is something that nobody knows about. We've so but we've been contacted by a gentleman who is living in New York, and he has letters that he wants to give to the Historical Society, and he is mailing them to us as we speak. And these letters are from Abner Pratt, written to his father, who was in New York at the time. And it almost sounds like that Abner Pratt maybe would have been writing to kind of get his father's approval a little bit, because he was a self-taught lawyer. He had no formal education, and he kind of diverted from his family path to go on this more white-collar journey for himself. And so it's likely that his dad was kind of like, what are you doing? This is not what our family did. And so I'm really excited to read those, and who knows what that will add or even take away from our current tour. So we're really excited about getting those. And this is what, really all about with, the Historical Society side of things is, striving for accuracy, making sure what we're telling the public is true. And, I'm proud to say that we can back up everything that we say with some sort of primary source or a credible secondary source. And if we don't know, we say that we've been told this, and, this may or may not be 100% accurate. So we try to strive for that transparency as best we can. So,
and that's why you need preservation. So
Exactly.
that's why you work for the preservation of these items.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So Amy, we were doing some research, and we came across your bio, which is great. You talk about your family and your kids, but you also mentioned a hedgehog.
I did have a hedgehog. Oh, Marshy. Oh, so Marshy was 6. She was so sweet. We named her Marshmallow because she looked like a burnt toasted marshmallow with white and a little bit of brown. And she loved worms, and she loved to roll in the dirt and spit on herself, called anointing. And Marshy passed away, and so now, besides my rescues, I always have 3 rescue dogs. Now I have my little buddy Nugget, who is my bearded dragon, that even on lunch today was outside running in the grass, running away from me, yelling at me while I'm chasing them eating dandelions. So we've always got some little critter, and definitely rescue dogs.
Oh, awesome.
I almost brought him to this too. I was going to bring Nugget, but it's too cold for him.
Do they ever
we had a bearded dragon.
Yeah.
His name was Perry, though. I don't know why they were.
How big did he get? I'm curious.
It was a she.
Oh, okay.
She laid an egg.
Really?
That's how we knew she was a she.
Yeah.
And she didn't get real huge. She kind of got evicted because the kid that owned the Perry, who was the caretaker for Perry, was going off to DePaul. And I'm like, Mom, and you take Perry or rehome Perry, because Perry can't stay with Mom. And because I didn't really care for Perry, I'm going to be really honest.
Oh, poor Perry.
Poor Perry.
Cuddling Nugget. You just on my shoulder and cuddling. We rockabye in the morning. We rockabye at night. It's a sad life I live. I'm just kidding.
No, I was no rockabying with Perry.
I love animals. Snakes, spiders, I love them all.
Oh, man. Do any of them make it into the Choose Marshall social media at all, or?
Piper, our little Piper, my little white rescue, she, I think, had her profile picture up there for a while, but then she started getting really sassy and spoiled. And so when people were coming in, she was getting really protective of all of us in the office. So she had to go home, and she hasn't been back for a while.
I had my dog Boone. He's a Bavarian mountain hound, and when he was a puppy, he was in the office, but now he's big and he's turned into a hunter, and he would not behave in the office, I don't think. So
we wouldn't get much done.
No, we'd be chasing animals around. But when he was a puppy, he was in some of our ribbon cutting chamber. So we love dogs in this office. So.
But we do have Paw Fitters downtown that is a pet store, and like they have a doggy bar and everything like that. So sometimes like, we'll walk the animals down there and they can go in and pick out a treat out of the doggy bar and biscuit bar, I guess.
Yeah.
So actually I'll have to take Nugget in there next.
There you go.
That's
See what
awesome.
treats are in there for the dragon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Aye.
That's fantastic. I love it.
So, oh my goodness, so many questions. Alena, aside from preservations, you're also the event manager for Marshall Motor Fest. Is that still true?
Well, I think so. It's kind of more of like a big team of us now. So we have a pretty large committee. So, I guess, I do take the notes for the meeting, but it's such a group effort that it doesn't feel like that's on my shoulders at all. And our director of tourism, Kimber, is amazing as well. We all it's hard to say that there's one single leader of that event just because all of us are so involved in it and everyone really takes up, their own position in that. And we have so much buy-in from the community. This event has really become more of a community effort. We've got, Andrew from Pastrami Joe's running the kids zone. Denoyer Chevrolet is doing their cars and coffee event the morning of, and we're going to put our registration booth there. And gosh, there's so much more forward.
Test drives.
Yeah, that is so much fun.
We have some fun vehicles coming for test drives this year,
Yeah.
including the Dark Horse.
Mustang.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gotta get in line for that.
Yeah,
So
that's going to be cool.
Where do they hold the Motor Fest? Is it all over Marshall? Like, how does the event work?
It's right in the downtown. So what we do is we have our registration in the morning, and at 11 o'clock after that, they all go out to the industrial park and line up out there. So they're out of town, and they can line up all the cars and get ready to cruise. And after they're all lined up and ready to go, they'll come into town and they'll do a lap through town, and then they all park, like angle parking downtown. And they'll park there for a couple hours and everyone can walk around, look at the cars, and then they'll do a little award ceremony. And we've got categories for best in show, best paint, best interior, best engine. So it's all really fun. And we also have a rockabilly competition.
So cute.
It is adorable. They have a kids one and an adult one. And so you have these ladies dressed in these beautiful dresses, very vintage looking outfits. It's so cute. It adds so much to the event. So we're really grateful. That's Michelle at Vixen's Ink and Beauty who heads that up. So like I said, it's such a community event. It's like no single person could ever put on something this spectacular. It really takes a community to do it. And we're so thankful that people have really jumped on board with Marshall Motor Fest and that we have so much support for it because it is so much fun. And like Amy said, with Ford Motor Company, with, the Blue Oval Battery Park in Marshall, we're so fortunate that they, got on the bandwagon with us because they're offering so much. And, they're our main sponsor for the event. But not only that, they're coming to, like Amy said, downtown and offering test drives of not only the EVs, but they have a couple other really cool vehicles that they're going to be allowing people to test drive. And
Wow.
they're also going to be entering I'm not going to say what it is, but a classic car that has a EV motor in it. So they're going to enter that into Motorfest. So that'll be in the lineup. So that'll be
Wow.
exciting.
Yeah.
So you'll have to come see what vehicle that is. But it's
Yeah.
always the first Saturday in August is Marshall Motor Fest every year.
Yeah.
So
And
Are you
afterwards,
checking your calendar, Chuck, to see where you're going to be? The
I
first
know. I
weekend
gotta.
in
I gotta.
August?
you
I
gotta
be in
check it
Marshall.
out.
Yeah.
Afterwards, everybody can either cruise the Dark Horse for an after party. Dark Horse throws an after party.
yeah.
Or there's also movies at the airport, so families can go watch movies at the airport afterwards. And it's just we just
Wow.
keep cruising with your car.
Yeah. Well, and the day before Motorfest, we have a little reception that Schuler's puts on. So at 1909 venue, it's is it cocktails and
Classics.
Yeah. So it's really fun
Oh.
event that Schuler's is putting on. So that's the night before. Motorfest. So it's really, if you really want to take advantage of the event,
weekend.
that's a whole weekend
Yeah.
thing. And just like so many Marshall events are, you come in for one day, you might as well come for two and take it all in.
Well, we have the social district. So people, all these car enthusiasts are in town and, families are coming down and, all the restaurants are so great at putting out fun drinks that, are tailored to these classic cars or to the generations and things like that. So that's a lot of fun too. Just basically everybody shooting the shit together. Can you say that?
Yeah, you can. For sure.
That's what we're doing.
That's awesome. And the social district is pretty much the entire downtown. Is that correct? Is it? And
Pretty much, yep. It goes from Grand Street, which is where the mural is. So they're from the Grand Street Mural Park all the way down to Carver Park. So it's basically 3, 4, 5 blocks downtown, and then it goes back a block each way of Michigan Avenue. So it pretty much encompasses the downtown. Yep.
Nice.
But it doesn't quite
Put
get to
outdoor
Dark Horse.
seating, and we have, you can get to go food and sit outside we have downtown seating and tables, and if somebody wants a beer from here and wine from here, you guys can just meet in the middle or whatever.
Awesome. So, like, if someone was, because I'm imagining, well, if the weather was like this on Friday, like, if someone was down there on a Friday, like, what is that experience like? Can you kind of give a little, what would a social district stroll be like on a Friday?
Oh man, we could start at one end and go to the other, and you can stroll across and around. And I mean, we have, wine tastings down there, but then it's like you find the one you want and you sit outside on the patio chairs, or a couple of the restaurants have put out like a tiki bar out back. So it's in the back, and it's not part of their, like, the servers aren't coming out there, but sit on their back deck in the tiki bar. Super fun. That's in back of Broadway Grill.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Otherwise, some people, they want to stop at El Tajín and get a margarita and walk down to the Grand Street Park. That's where we have that Marshall mural, and there's a sun sail there, but then there's also these picnic tables, but they have chess on them. So you can sit there and play games. Some people are playing games there, or just, meeting up and hanging out, watching the cars go by.
Excellent.
And we're walking tour as well. We have a downtown walking tour that is our red dot tour. So we have a brochure in the Welcome Center and kiosks downtown that have red dots on them. And you can follow that tour, and it'll tell you fun facts about some of the buildings downtown, the commercial buildings. And you can follow the red dots on the sidewalk that correspond with the map, and you can take a walking tour.
You know what else is new? We have axe throwing now.
Yeah.
We have axe
Yes.
throwing, and then we have an art ceramic studio where you can, and all these places are accepting of bringing your social drink in, just like the retailers. Most places just, come on in with your drink and shop, peruse, do an activity. So the downtown's really, everybody really works well together and encourages everybody just to come down and have a good time.
Yeah. And
Do you ever have music down there on a Friday night?
So we have Fridays at the Fountain. And so there's an organization that puts that on. And so is it once a month or every couple of weeks? Maybe it's every other week at the Fountain right in the center of town. Live bands come and play. So you cannot bring social district drinks there just because you're crossing, crossing the highways to get to the little park. But still, people will grab takeout, bring blankets, bring the kids. Everybody's around the fountain listening to live music. So that's a lot of fun on a Friday night.
And I think in this social district, isn't Schuler's within that district, or no?
Schuler's is, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can start at Stagecoach and hit Schuler's and go down the street and hit Cop. I mean, you could just keep on going until you hit Maria's.
Because that place is pretty cool. We went in there for I think it was the holidays, like, during Christmas, and they had it all decorated really nice. And they were at because we actually met you guys in person for the first time at the Soup Showdown at Dark Horse outside, which was a lot of fun. And they had a really good soup. I don't think they won, though. I can't remember who the winner was. But
which one did you like? Was it the curry one?
That curry one was really good. I'm thinking
I'm trying to think of which one. I think mine was like a butternut squash or something that I liked. That was fun though. Just being outside in the winter, but still warming up.
Yeah, and the soups are really good, and you could like pop into Dark Horse. But I do remember the Schuler soup because it wasn't their, because I think they're known for their, like, isn't it the French onion soup or something like that, as
They
as
do,
well as the
yep.
cheese dip.
They
But
have a Swiss onion soup.
Yeah, that's it.
It's the
Yep,
Swiss onion. So just a little bit different, but so good.
yeah, it's fantastic. So if I mean, if someone was going out, well, I shouldn't say this because it'll you may have to pigeonhole things. When you're downtown at the social district, what are, a couple of the places you would just have to stop into while you're downtown? And I'm sure it probably changes just based on what you're doing each day, but.
So I always stop into Copper and grab they make great drinks. And then hop on over to, there's a store next door to it, Urban Reflections Lifestyle, which is new, and that's a lot of fun. They got a lot of fun stuff in there. So I usually peruse in there, and then as I continue down my way, definitely stopping to throw some axes because I have to beat whoever I'm with. So until I get that bullseye, I'm going to have to be in there.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And I don't really drink, so if I was accompanying Amy on this, I would be begging to go to Pasta Bella and get some pasta after axe throwing. So,
and I would do that too. Yep. I'd be ready.
Yep.
Yeah, and you'd probably beat me at axe throwing.
But
I will say Maria's has really good wine slushies, though.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
yes.
That's like perfect summer day activity right there.
That's really popular. The wine, when you're walking downtown in the summer, I'll tell you what, you will see everybody coming out with whatever concoction they have created for wine slushies. They're mixing and matching, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Now, when you're downtown, and I don't know if it's open then, but isn't the American Museum of Magic, isn't that right downtown?
It is. Yeah. And actually, they do lantern tours in the fall, and I think they encourage you to bring your social district drink in and, have a cool tour at night. I think it's around October that they normally do those. So it has a little bit of a spooky edge to it with the magic, and it's fun. So, but yeah, the Magic Museum, they have regular open hours.
And don't they do magic shows every Saturday for kids?
Yeah, around 1 o'clock.
They do an abracadabra camp too.
Yeah, Camp Evercadabra. That is so cool.
That's cute.
The little summer camp for kids. Yeah. That's awesome. I learn magic tricks.
So how did Marshall become the home for the American Museum of Magic? I mean, like, was that random, or like somebody had a collection? Like, what's the origin story?
A little bit, yeah. So it was Robert and Elaine Lund. They were huge collectors of magic memorabilia, and they ended up picking Marshall's location. They had visited town, really liked the location. That building became available to them, and they bought it really to house it, but kind of realized that people would enjoy looking at the collection and seeing it. And I know you can read more about that whole acquisition process on their website. I don't have 100% the details, so I don't want to butcher it, but I do know that the Lunds were, the founding of that, and it started as a private collection. And as they were getting older, they were kind of realizing, well, who's going to take this on? Mm-hmm. And so they established, a board of directors that now oversees the museum, and they have a director down there. His name is Scott, and he's phenomenal. He's really great. If you're wanting to get into the museum, anytime, off appointment, you can get a hold of him, and he's more than happy to, to meet you down there. And they also have a really impressive collection of archive material, and magicians from across the country will come to Marshall to study some of those books. And they're, amazing collections. And it's not just, local small time, magicians that they have there. They have stuff from Houdini, and they have things from Blackstone. Yeah, huge magicians. Like, when you think of magic, you think of these people, and that's what they have in that museum. And we would recommend it to anybody interested. And they have a ton of posters that were from magic shows, like all throughout the decades. And those themselves, you could look at them as, for what they are as magic posters, or you can look at them as pieces of American art through the years, because they are just phenomenal.
So good.
They're so cool. And there's so much that you can gain from that museum. And like I said, they're accessible, they're right downtown, they're in the social district, and they're just a really cool, unique place. And, Colon might be the magic capital of Michigan, but man, we've got their museum. So
I mean, it's attracted big names just
Yeah.
for people to stop by and see, who doesn't want to see Houdini's milk canners? I mean,
Yeah.
to see how small he really was and what you fit in. And when you think about the entire act and how he performed that, and you just see some of these things, it's like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
So do they have anything planned for the anniversary of his death that's coming up in October? Do you know?
I think I remember them saying something about it, but I don't have exactly what
I don't think they've released details.
Yeah.
We did hear that they're planning something big, but
Mhm.
we haven't been told yet. So that's something you guys need to start.
Yeah,
Making
we'll have, to,
that breakout
we'll have to investigate.
we're gonna
yeah.
have
breakout
to-
news.
Yeah. More hot tips coming out of this podcast.
Exactly.
So another kind of a big part of Marshall's draw and history is the historic home tour, and I believe that takes place in September. Is that correct? And so, can you tell folks that are listening maybe a little bit about what that all is?
You want me to go?
Okay, definitely go. Yes.
So, the home tour, we're on our 61st year. So 61
Wow.
years of the Marshall Historic Home Tour, and it's always the weekend after Labor Day. So we're really excited for it. This year, we're doing kind of a special feature for America 250. So everything is kind of like Americana themed. Every home is going to have a national tie-in. So we'll take like either when the house was built, or like the American style of architecture that it is, built in. We're going to talk about that. And, if the house was built in, 1860, we're going to talk about what was going on in 1860 in the United States, a lot in that year specifically, but yeah, and we're going to have a lot of really fun things planned for this year just because of America 250. We're really excited about it. But overall, the home tour is the Marshall Historical Society's largest fundraiser for historic preservation. So it's a lot of fun. We love the event, but in all seriousness, this is how we keep everything going. And this is the way that we fund, keeping up with the Honolulu House, and also the Marshall Historical Museum and the Capitol Hill School. Those are all owned and operated by the Marshall Historical Society. We are also looking into trying to expand, Marshall's preservation efforts, and we're encouraging, City Council to maybe pass a local district for historic preservation. So obviously building funds for that is huge. And we really want to be able to offer things for our residents. And this is all on the back of the home tour.
Wow.
The home tour is so important to us, not only for those preservation reasons, but because of the tradition that it holds. The Historical Society started this actually as a kitchen tour. And it was actually the Methodist Church at the time. They were the ones who had started it. And it was just a tour of kitchens. And eventually it evolved. The Historical Society took that over and became a tour of the entire home. And we are the longest running home tour in the Midwest. And we've, really just grown to love this tradition. It's something people really anticipate. We have people who have been attending every single year, with the exception of the COVID years that we didn't have it. No one wanted to open their home for thousands of people to walk through it in the middle of a pandemic, which is understandable. But
Right.
But yeah, we usually have somewhere between 6 to 8 private homes on tour. All of the museums in town are open, which is included with your ticket. We always have an advance ticket price every year. So up until Labor Day, it's, usually $5 or so off your ticket. So you save a little bit of money if you buy it ahead of time. Goes full price on Labor Day. So, but yeah, it's a really fun tradition. We always have a Civil War ball. We're calling it the Honolulu House Ball now. Of 1865. So it's supposed to be kind of like the end of the war celebration. And that is in the street in front of the Honolulu House. And it's
Oh.
super fun. It's at 7 o'clock usually.
Costumes encouraged.
Oh yeah,
ball
definitely.
gowns.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
absolutely. 1860 style costumes
Mhm.
encouraged, but not required.
No.
So it's only required for the very first dance. So, but yeah, we love that event. It's really fun. And we also have the vintage market that happens right across the street from the Honolulu House. And in the lawn of the Honolulu House, we have the Art at the Museum, which is a juried art show for Michigan artists. A lot of really cool stuff there. So a lot of shopping options,
Yeah.
tons of things to do in town. We usually bring out a couple food trucks, but nothing too big because we know our guests want to go visit the restaurants downtown and our
Yeah.
breweries and, really enjoy the town as a whole. So that's another event where we see a lot of community participation and growing. So we're really happy to see people jump on board with that and, do their own thing with home tour, but also, we want them to make it their own. This is Marshall's event. This is one of our longest running events that we have in the town with, I think, maybe Christmas parade is rivaling it. So you're able to do that during COVID. So now I think it pulled ahead a couple of years from us. But yeah, the home tour is just such a Marshall tradition. It has, really taken root as such an identifying piece of Marshall. And like I said, we're just so happy to see so many people get involved with it and get on board for preservation, because that's really what makes Marshall is, the preservation component and how we were able to save so many beautiful historic homes and buildings. And we have our National Landmark District. And that's really Marshall's core identity is just the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So,
And the cool thing about the historic home tour is the people that are living in these phenomenal homes. I mean, they're collectors. That's the reason they chose these homes. So many of the stories that I've heard while working on the marketing for it is that it's like, I walked into this home and I just felt these stories and I found an old letter that was left behind the fireplace. And then
Oh,
these
wow.
people are bringing in these collections that they've curated over the years. And they're all so different. Some are from all over the world. Some are very, distinct in what they're collecting. And it's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen something like that. Or, oh my gosh, that is so cool. And it's just the stories that you hear it's just so cool. And they're different every year, which I love.
Yeah, that sounds really, really awesome. Is it limited? I mean, is there, I have to imagine there's only so many people you want tramping through the homes. Is it, or is
No,
it just wide open, just that you can have
Wide open,
10,000 people
yeah.
come through and, oh, wow.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. I mean, back in like the 70s, 80s, that's when like the home tours were really at their height. And I mean, it would not be off to say probably 10,000 people in Marshall
Wow.
visiting the home tour. Like residents of Marshall used to leave town. It used to be so crazy.
It's like going to a
And-
U of M game.
Yeah,
right,
exactly. So, and I would love to see it get back to that level. I don't know if a lot of the Marshall residents want to get to that that level of participation again, but yeah, there's definitely, I think, a growing interest. And I think that, the pandemic did hurt a little bit. I think that, just the general gatherings, of people, that was,
For
kind of
sure.
a tough thing to get over, but it's definitely coming back.
I think
and
so too.
yeah, people are the interest never went away. It was just, the health concern, which is valid.
And you see
Right.
like the generations coming together now. It's like the daughter, the mom, and the grandma are coming, and like all these families. It's spanning the interest that people are seeing, and maybe that's because thrifting is back, or how it goes in the trends and things like that. But it's just and sometimes the themes are different. I know you guys did a farmhouse tour one time, which was super cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
And then there's just so there's such a variety between the 19th and early 20th century architecture.
Yeah.
So that's one way you keep it fresh each year. It's not the same
Yeah.
8 houses. It's a different theme, different set of houses.
Yes.
Yep, always different houses. We try to never have it be within 5 years having the same house, with the exception that if there's a house that is going under extensive renovation work, then we'll try to showcase that kind of, here's the beginning of their process. Here's halfway through it. And now here's the finished product. And if we're lucky enough to get a homeowner willing to, be that vulnerable with the beginning of their project, then, we have had that a few years. I think one recent one was the Octagon House in Marshall. So it was on a couple years ago, and then we brought it back last year.
I love that house.
Yeah, and it was a little bit more done, and now I think they only have like one room left, and so
Wow.
So cool.
yeah, so that's another really cool aspect about home tour, that we try to keep it fresh, keep it, different homes, different styles, different history. So yeah.
So we haven't talked about the Blues Fest. I think it's happening this in June, right? Like
Yeah,
that
the
happens
last
every year
Saturday in June.
Okay.
And this, 21st year? I think it's the 21st year. And what they do is they shut down the downtown. They bring in a huge stage right downtown. Everybody starts setting up their chairs in the street at 10 a.m. The music doesn't start till 3. But we'll tell you, we have some dedicated music lovers out there. We have a beer tent that's set up. There's vendors. The stores are open. And then it's like, it's just packed. There's kids' activities at the end. We even have it's been really hot the last few years. We even have a sprinkler that is on the end of the street. And I mean, it's not just kids in that sprinkler. When it's hot, we're all out there running around. But it's so much fun. There's typically probably like 5 or so bands, and they go until 11 p.m. And I mean, when you see that stage at night in the middle of the street, people are just out dancing. Kids are dancing. I mean, if you love live music and just hanging out for a whole day, just eating music, having a couple drinks, that is a fun event to kick off summer. Kick off right before the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know it's shocking, but we're almost to the end of our conversation. I mean,
That flew by.
I know. It happens every time. I always worry, will we have enough to talk about? And there's always so much to talk about. I mean, we even skipped questions for you guys.
We're chatty. We're a little chatty.
Yeah.
We really like our town.
There's a lot to
Yeah.
do. It's a lot of fun.
So is there anything that we didn't ask that you were hoping we would ask, or you want to give a shout out to at this point? Because we have a couple more questions, but
I think the only thing I would say is that, Marshall also has, for people that are just coming to relax, we have a lot of spas and a lot of like certain event classes. You can come in and you can do pottery. You can rent tubes or bring your kayaks and float down the Kalamazoo River. We're very dog friendly. You can bring your animals, go on the patios. We have a lot of nature centers, obviously great shopping and things like that. So it's just a great place to sometimes just get away.
Yeah.
If you just want to come and just do whatever, you can either find an event or you can just relax and just take your time. Just do whatever you want.
Well, and one of those really relaxing events is actually the garden tour. So Marshall has a phenomenal garden club, and every July they do a garden tour, which is kind of similar to home tour, except you're touring people's gardens, and they're, private gardens and people's backyards, front yards, wherever. And man, their gardens are just phenomenal.
They work on them for years to get on the garden tour.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah.
They do.
I mean, it's like a whole process, making sure the plants are, built up just right. And, they're really master gardeners. I mean, a lot of them literally are. So, it's amazing.
That's
so
fun.
That's a really fun event. And it's very laid back, very calming to walk around, beautiful gardens.
Yeah, he's very zen.
Yeah. So that's another really cool and fun event.
Yeah, we
didn't know about the garden tour.
Yeah, I know. We got to put that on the list. And you were mentioning, the outdoors and nature. I believe the North Country Trail comes not far or into Marshall.
It does.
It goes right through it.
It goes through us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's another thing. You can go hike on the North Country Trail.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
So, Chuck, do you want to do a couple questions from our Pure Michigan Lightning Round?
The Pure Michigan
no.
Lightning Round. Okay, so so what's your favorite flavor of Schuler's Heritage Cheese Spread? Original or jalapeno?
Oh, I'm original.
I'm jalapeno.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like it spicy.
And I love the crackers. I just love the crackers.
So, what's the best spot in town to grab a cup of coffee in the morning?
Serendipity in
Yeah.
the brew.
Mhm. Although we have a new coffee shop coming in.
That is true. Yeah,
Um,
Hourglass.
Yeah, Hourglass Coffee's coming in and they're doing like pour overs and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to be testing it out because we are coffee connoisseurs here.
Awesome.
So, Dark Horse Brewing question: Crooked Tree IPA or the Amber Ale, or do you have a
Ooh.
different one that you like, or something different that you choose? It could be
I'm
not even
Crooked Tree.
alcoholic, huh?
I love the Crooked Tree.
I get the raspberry if I'm there and I'm feeling it. Then definitely the raspberry ale is what I would go for.
But some of their spirit drinks that they put out now are pretty good too.
I
Yeah.
haven't had one of their spirit drinks
Mhm.
yet.
They do different seasonal cocktails now, like and out in the beer garden. Sometimes it's nice just to change it up, just depending on, the mood and what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they have wine?
They do have wine.
Oh,
See, now they're
Yeah.
they have everything. We
they
gotta
have
get out.
everything.
They have it all now.
Yeah, it keeps
Yeah.
expanding too.
It does.
Like they have, I think it's by Brew Detroit. It's like Cerveza Del Rey. That's like
Oh,
a really
yeah.
light Mexican.
Altis is cut
Yeah,
back.
Emily gave me a free case of it, so I tried it. So,
Yeah.
it's a good
Yeah.
way to get me to.
Sometimes our job requires us to taste test,
Yeah.
and if I'm
yeah.
taking a reel of a dinner, I go home with it. And
Yeah.
we have a very generous community.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So the last question from the lightning round. So, what is Marshall's absolute best kept secret that isn't on the tourism brochure yet? If you don't have one,
I'm looking at my tourism brochure and I talk about museums, but my favorite, and this is just, I love the Postal Museum.
Yeah.
People would never think about that, but it's literally underground, under the post office. It's huge. It has a train simulator. It has real motor cars. It goes through like with the airplanes and how they delivered things. It has like the first piece of mail. I personally, the Postal Museum and the guy who tells the story, awesome. So cool. I love it.
Yeah, that was another private collection. Yeah, Mike Schrag was the postmaster in Marshall for many years, and he, over his span of time, has collected so much postal memorabilia. And yeah, Amy's spot on. It's phenomenal. It's like the history of the United States told through the lens of the post office.
So, and that
Wow.
one is by appointment only,
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But anybody can call any day and we can contact,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
curators and say, hey, do you want to give somebody a tour? And they're usually like, yes, let's do it.
Wow,
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
cool.
they call Choose Marshall, right?
Yeah, they can call Choose Marshall.
And you'll set the tour up, or you'll
Absolutely.
get them
Definitely.
connected. Yeah,
Very
because it
cool.
might be the Marshalls calling Choose Marshall.
Well, I want to go because I haven't been there in a while. And honestly, I think about that tour all the time. It's just one that's never left my mind since I've been here for 10 years.
Mhm.
I didn't
Yeah,
even
carve
know it
out
was
some time,
there.
'cause
It's
it's a
good.
long tour, but
It
it's
is.
good.
How
Yeah.
long? About 2 hours?
Yeah, I think
I would
so.
say if you really want to take it all in, yeah, give him more than an hour, because I mean it's his stuff and he knows every single thing about it. So
And it's the stories. It's not
Yeah.
just seeing the artifact. It's like, and this guy, well, let me tell you what this guy was doing is he was running for the train and tripped and yeah. So it's really
Wow. We
Awesome.
might have to get him on our podcast. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
good. Mike would be
Oh, he would be
fun.
great,
He's
yeah.
so funny.
See, and that's
Awesome.
what's so great about Marshall is, like, we know all of these people personally. I mean, pretty much everyone we've mentioned, I have like, in my phone that we can just
Right.
text at any moment. Like, so it's very tight community, and it's like, these things are not difficult to get access to. It may say by appointment only, and that might scare some people away, but we're like, really, no, it's just let me call Mike. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
So,
And the one last thing new. So I don't know. Do you guys play pickleball? But we have
Yeah.
pickleball courts now and next to a splash pad. So
Wow.
I was there last night. I hit the ball 50% of the time. So let's go.
Yay!
Do it.
Awesome.
Yay! We do play pickleball.
Do you? Yes.
Yeah, we
We have,
do.
6 courts now.
Wow,
Are they
that's
outside
awesome.
or inside?
They're outside.
Wow.
And it's
Very
right
cool.
behind the ball field, right off Michigan Avenue, on
what road is that? Is that Hanover?
maybe Green, Hanover. Anyways,
Yeah.
so yeah, so now we have a splash pad. So last night there were families that we were all just rotating in and their kids were over in the splash pad. It was perfect. It was great.
Excellent. I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Yet another reason to go visit Marshall, right? Choose
And
Marshall.
all of this stuff is on the Choose Marshall website. Like it's choosemarshall.com, correct?
Yes, yep, you can find Choose Marshall on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, you name it. Come
You're
find
there.
us.
LinkedIn.
You go there. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Ready for the last question? Chuck, it's Chuck's question.
Wow. Yeah. And this is for each of you, and it's, what is your perfect Michigan day? So where would you go? What would you do? And what beverage would you finish it off with?
Let's see here. Well, there's a beer called Upper Beer from
The upper hand.
Upper Hand,
Yeah,
and they do not sell it below the bridge because it is for Uppers. So I guess I'm gonna have to say my perfect day is being on my dad's lake on 16 Mile Lake with all my nieces and nephews and kids running around while I'm drinking a Upper Beer. Upper
Awesome.
Hand.
Yeah. And that's in the UP, right?
Yep, that's it. Yep, people have heard of like Buckhorn Resort, so it's around that area in
Okay.
Munising.
All
Ah,
right.
cool. Very cool.
I love that area.
Yeah. Alena, how about you?
Well, I would say mine's pretty specific, but my husband and I, it's in the UP. So, but there is a little hotel in Silver City right by the Porcupine Mountains. It's called like the American, I think. And
Here.
did you stay there? Yeah, and
Yeah,
it has
we
the
did.
restaurant in there, the little
Yeah.
bar, and it's right on the water.
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
love that hotel.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna go.
it's so fun. And so ideally I would get up, go do a hike in the Porcupine Mountains, go see the Lake of the Clouds, and maybe hit up some historic spots in there, find my map for the park and read some about the old mines in there, and then go back to that hotel, relax, in the pool for a while, have dinner in their little
Yeah.
restaurant area, and I would finish the night off probably with another Upper Hand Brewery beer. The one that I've had that I really like is the Escanaba Black Beer, and it's really good. It's a porter. So that's how I would finish that night off and go and walk along Lake Superior. And that's one thing Marshall can't compete with is we don't have Superior.
Just think if you did, right?
Oh man.
Growing up on the lake and then coming down and realizing, oh, I didn't even think about,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well,
there's less snow here.
that's
oh,
right.
amen.
Yeah.
I'm there.
The
Spring is early. They are hatching mosquitoes right now. I've talked to them all, and I said I knew it was
Oh.
coming late because we had a late snow. So,
Yeah. Yeah. The beauty is it's what, probably 6 hours to Marquette from Marshall.
6
there?
hours to Munising from here.
Yeah. So there you go. It's not too bad, so it's doable. Yeah, totally doable. Well, awesome. Well, Amy and Alena, thank you guys so much for being part of Life in Michigan and on our podcast.
Thank you so much. This is a lot of fun. We can't wait to have you guys back here.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be reaching out about that.
Yeah, we'll be back
Post Office
shortly.
Museum. I want to do that.
Yeah.
That would be great if we could get a few of us to go. That'd be
Oh, yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
We could gather up some friends.
Oh,
have
And
sure.
then we go to Dark Horse with Mike, and he'll tell us the real stories behind stuff.
Oh man, it's on the it's all coming together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all so much.
Great. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to catch every episode of Life in Michigan. Help us spread the word by rating the show, sharing it with your friends, your neighbors, your family, your mail carrier. Share it with everybody, and leave a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Stay connected by following us on our website and social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, take care and have a fantabulous day in Michigan.